Hello and welcome. As you probably guessed, I'm MotherAzure, but you can also call me Maria. I'm back again with another pick a card, and as you can see from the title, we're going to be seeing what your dreams have been trying to tell you. This was inspired by a conversation I had with my friend, so hi girl, because she had something that felt like a dream that had a message in it. She actually saw me in one of them, but I also had a dream that that included a message for me, and I never remember my dreams, so every time I do, I pay special attention to what's going on. So if you have been having dreams recently and you feel like they mean something, stick around because that's what we're going to be looking at. So I have some tarot here. These cards that I shuffled in the beginning are meant to be the main message. We're going to get a few more cards later for each pile, and we're also going to be looking at some oracle just to help out in the meaning to fully capture what it is that the dream is trying to tell you. And we're also going to be looking at the meaning of each of these charms, because I did choose them randomly, as you saw in the intro. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into your piles. So for pile 1, you have the seashell. For pile 2, you have the dice. And for pile 3, you have the wings. Hey, look at pile 1 with the seashell. There's your reading. So like I said, I was going to interpret these because these two have meaning for me. And this one always reminds you of something from the past. So you may have been dreaming about things that already happened. Maybe you had a dream about a specific event in your life, or that featured that specific person that you have known for a long time and maybe haven't seen in a while. Or maybe even for some of you, it could be some type of traumatic event, because this charm for me, because it's broken, to me, it usually talks about things that are, like I said, from the past, but damaged in some way. So this could be something that was deeply uncomfortable for you. Maybe you recently dreamt about it and was maybe caused some distress even upon waking up. So yeah, if that resonates, stick around. So let's see. This is your main card. I'm going to shuffle for 2 more. You get the 8 of Pentacles. Let me get 2 more for you to see what your dreams are trying to tell you. And then I'll get the, High Priestess. And the 8 of Swords. You got 2 8s. So the number 8 might be significant here. For some of you, this may be the year that you were born, so 88. Or it just ends in 898, 2008. But for me, it would most likely be 1988 or something like that. So here's the thing. Usually, okay, I think that the message that you received in the dream, you have already thought about, because when I get the High Priestess, it tells me that you know already basically what I'm telling you. So if you may still be wondering what the dream meant, but the actual meaning of it you have already thought of. So there's something that the actual message of the dream you already went over in your brain. You may have gone through so many different explanations, but one of them was it. So you may have had like the little feeling in your stomach when you got the right interpretation, but you may have ignored it, maybe because your mind was racing. Because I do see this 8 of Swords here, and like I said, this is usually a charm that represents more difficult emotions like grief, sadness, and nostalgia, that type of stuff. So with this 8 of Swords here, and the 8 of Pentacles, I see this as the dream is telling you that whatever this is that you dreamt about is still keeping you, I'm hearing the word hostage. So there is something that is making you feel trapped, that is making you feel, how do I say this? Like you're imprisoned, basically. So this is something that is not allowing you to fully move forward in a specific area of your life. And your guides, your subconscious is bringing this up so you can deal with it appropriately. Because with the 8 of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles is about hard work and mastery, right? So basically, what your dreams are trying to tell you is that while this is keeping you stuck, this is not letting you live up to your full potential, whatever it is. So you need to do something about it in order to move past this, because it's almost like you're carrying, I don't know what the actual name of that is, the things prisoners, basically they used to put on prisoners' legs so they wouldn't be able to escape. Almost like you're carrying a boulder on your shoulders at all points. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but there we go. Dr. Seuss who. So the question is how to do that, because I feel like you already know this. Like I said, you already know about this. But when it comes to how to do that, maybe this is something that you have been avoiding for a long time, and that's why it's showing up in dreams. Because in any other area, at any other point in your waking life, you would rather not deal with it, and understandably so, because considering the charm that I have here, it's probably quite painful. Whether it was an event or a relationship with a person, or this could even be something related to even a pet, like maybe just a traumatic thing that happened with a pet who maybe went missing or died prematurely or something like that. So this could be anything. So don't be too maybe if you narrow things down too much, you will miss what this dream is actually about, because I think that for most of you already know about this, but you may have brushed it off because you're like, oh yeah, but it's probably not that. It could also be this. It's most likely that it's this. But that's your logical brain speaking. There's something that was maybe scarring to you on an emotional level. So maybe your logical mind is like, well, but that wasn't that bad. It could have been worse, etc. But emotionally, it really affected you. So it's still very much present in your waking life as much as it is in your dream realm. Okay, so when it comes to how to deal with this, I feel like the first step is for you to face it. You have to actually allow yourself to think about it. And it feels, when it comes to something that's like grief, this is one of the stages of grief, is denial. So this could be, it could be that you have been living in that stage for a long time because you don't want to think about it. It's too painful, or it's too difficult to deal with, or you don't know where to start with it. And the first step is actually acknowledging that it's there. Because otherwise it will keep showing up in your dreams, maybe in different ways, but it will continue to happen. And it's just going to be distressing to you for no reason. If this is something that was, like I said, very traumatic to you, I don't know if you have seen a mental health professional, but that could help for some people. If you don't want to do that, that's okay. But I will always throw it out there. I am a psychology student. I graduated. So I always, I know that there are a lot of defects in that branch of science, and there's a lot of work to be done. But sometimes it just helps to have someone that you can talk to if you don't have anyone else to do that with, right? And especially if it's like trauma related, there are specialists that are educated and focused on trauma related things. So they could work, they could help. But otherwise, I think a big part of it, like I said, is facing it. So maybe doing shadow work is important. It would be good for you. And shadow work is basically just sitting down. It's similar to journaling. Just maybe think about the event and write down what you feel without with as little judgment as you can. And something that I personally found helps is that when I write everything down, I'm usually quite when that happens, when I write things down, I usually feel quite stressed in the moment. So I simply write what I have to write, and I go do something else to regulate. So maybe something I like watching a movie or listening to some music or dancing or anything of that sort. Maybe just getting a snack, drinking some tea, and then come back to it with a clear head and read through it to see what I can gather from what it is that I wrote down, and at the same time validate my feelings. So maybe that's something that you could try doing. If it's grief related, there's so many books out there, and I'm not a professional in this, so I'm not gonna speak on that. But there are books out there if you don't have the ability to see a therapist or of any kind, and you don't have someone to talk to. Maybe a self-help book would work. There are many books on grief out there that are good, so I would encourage you to research that if this is something that is related to your dream. And I feel like this is so general because most people have lost a family member who's old, like a grandparent. But I am getting the presence of a grandparent, and I hate saying it when it sounds like it's so fucking general, but it is what it is. That's what I'm getting right now. It's a female presence, so maybe this is someone that you actually dreamt of. So like your grandmother, your great grandmother. For some of you, it's a great aunt. I'm hearing, something of that nature. So I do feel that presence, and if they're coming up, it's relevant. So take it if it's for you. But if it relates to them, like if this relates to a person specifically, something that could help you when it comes to this mastery and this overcoming of the whatever is being presented to you in your dream, is to write a letter. If it's a person, like address a letter to them and write down whatever you want to say to them, whatever it is. And I found this helpful. I think this is helpful also with when it comes to a person that maybe you weren't on good terms with, whether they're alive or not. This would work either way. You can address it to them, and once you're done, you can read it over, check in with yourself, see how you're feeling, and you can burn it or break it apart and throw it in the trash or do whatever you want with it. But do some sort of releasing of this. So write the letter and dispose of it however you see fit. I've seen burning as the most effective way if we're looking at it from a spiritual point, because fire transforms and completely destroys and transforms. So I would say fire is a better avenue for this, but it is completely up to you if you are worried about fire safety. So you can just tear it apart into little pieces and throw it in the trash. Or like I said, whatever you want to do with it, just dispose of it in some way. And that can be very helpful to get things off your chest when it is not possible for you to speak with this other person for whatever reason. Okay? I thought, integration. I thought that one was gonna flip, and that's why I grabbed it. So let's get one more. Yeah. This, like, these feelings are part of you, but it's like you have rejected them so much that it's almost like they became separated from you, or you don't recognize these feelings as your own. And that's why they're showing up in dreams, because they really have no other way to do so. And so with the integration card here, so it's really time to accept it for what it is. Again, it's painful and it's difficult. I won't tell you that it's not. But I feel like it's going to help you move forward and get you out of this stuck energy. Because like I said, even if you are in denial, or maybe you don't remember it clearly, or you don't think it was that important, it is hindering you in some way. So for example, if this was a relationship with, like I said, someone from your past, because like I said, it's from the past. This could be basically anything, but let's say that it's someone that you were in a relationship with, and this person maybe treated you badly, right? But once you got out of that relationship, you were like, okay, I don't want to think about that ever again. I don't want to see them. I don't want to think about them. So I'm just going to compartmentalize this thing and put it away because I don't want to deal with it right now. I don't feel like I can. So I will come back to it later. But you didn't really come back to it later, which is understandable. You tried to move on as hard as you could. But now, let's say when you're faced with the prospect of another relationship with another person, subconsciously you remember this relationship that you had with them, and you may pull away, or start seeing things in this person, in the new person, that are not really there. It's just, tiny things that aren't really that maybe important to who they are or their character. So like maybe the way they hold their fork, for example, reminds you of this other person, and you will pull away because you will convince yourself that this person is exactly the same as the other one. So I don't think you do this, like I said, you don't do this consciously, but that's one way that it could be hindering you. This is an example that I'm giving you. Okay, so it is important for you to recognize this in order to move forward, because like I said, otherwise you're going to keep carrying it with you forever. So it tries to come out. It always tries to come out, but it will continue to hinder you for as long as you let it. Okay, so let's get one more card, please. Friend flurry. That's interesting. So I think this is more so a message from your spirit team directly, because this as a card, it always reminds me of receiving support and having people be there for you when you need them. So I feel like this is a message that you're not alone in this. Like if you need help, there will be people that will help you. If you need someone to listen to you, there are people that will listen to you. And if there are not people, maybe your guides themselves will do this. If you feel like lighting a candle, calling in your guides and just saying everything that you're thinking that's bothering you, that is also going to help. You can ask them for help in guiding you on how to, tackle the situation, because obviously, yes, I did give you some examples, but that may not work for you, or you may want a different, avenue to do this, and that's completely okay. So you can ask them for help in finding the right resources, right? Or even if you are considering or are okay with contacting a mental health professional, they're saying that this is also something that's going to happen. Like if you seek the help that you need, you will receive it. Okay. And also I'm hearing the word reciprocity. So sorry, it's just that something caught my eye and now I can't see it. What was that? It's like I saw like a face like in the card, but now I can't see it. So I don't think it was part of the card. I think it was something else. And it looked like the profile of someone. Like I literally thought it was in the card, but it's not. That's why it stopped. Kind of the side profile, kind of looking down. And like they looked sad. They looked down. So a big part of this that maybe not be completely comfortable for you is to actually allow yourself to feel those emotions. So maybe when you start doing any of these exercises or write the letter or the shadow work or whatever it is, you feelings are going to arise. Usually they do. And you may try to push them away. They don't want you to do that because it's important for you to acknowledge these feelings because you have been pushing them away for too long, and in order to release them, you actually have to feel them. So if you start crying, allow yourself to cry for as long as you need to. And they don't want you to judge yourself for it. That's interesting. So they're giving me this message about, how small children, they usually like they sometimes children, they will fall, literally they would just fall, and they have this moment where they're completely silent, kind of like processing what happened, and then they start crying, and many of them are pretty much unconsolable for a little while, and then they're fine. So I think the reason they're giving me this example is like, one, a baby can't really stop how they're feeling when it comes to that. Like if they feel hurt, if there's, if they're upset, they will cry, and they can't really stop themselves from doing that because it's the only way that they have to communicate what they're feeling and to release their frustration. So if they get hurt, they cry, and then they calm down. So they're saying that even if you cry for 2 hours, okay, it's not gonna be that long, but they just say you cry for 2 hours, eventually you will stop and feel better. But you need to allow yourself to go through that crying, and that, it's important for you to go through that process in order to feel relieved in the end, because you're not going to feel relieved if you simply push it down and suck it up. Okay, it's truly not going to help. It's just going to just extend the process and the amount of time they're going to have to be dealing with this. Okay, so again, the most important part here is to work on this, to take it one day at a time, try as many times as you need to, even if you feel like you're not doing great, or even if you feel like it's not fully working, or you were failing or something like that, to keep going. And the thing with healing that you will see everywhere, everyone tells you this, but at the same time it's really hard to believe it, but healing is really not a straight line going up. You will have your ups and downs. Some days you will be very, very low, some days you will feel normal, some days you will feel very happy and high energy, but you may come down the next day. It really is like that. So don't set these super harsh standards for yourself. They want you to treat yourself like you're human, not like you are a robot or I don't know, anything else but human. So yeah, so that's your most important message, that you need to and can work on this to make it better and to move forward. Okay, so that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Sunday at 12 p.m. EST. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do love my Elizabeth channel over there, and also in my community tab. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. It is never expected, but it is always very appreciated. I wish you the best of luck on your journey, and much love to you. Bye bye. Hello for your pile 2 with the dice is your reading. I found it really interesting that your pile 2, but your dice landed in number 3. So maybe number 3 is a pile that you would like to watch as well, if you feel called to do that. Or the number 3 itself has made an appearance in your dreams. So for example, maybe you have been seeing things in threes in your dreams, or even in your waking life, specifically in your dreams, clearly, because this is what we're talking about. Maybe you will have seen 3 birds, or 3 big rocks, or 3 what's the word that I'm looking for? Oh my god, I completely lost the word. Buildings. The word buildings, completely lost it. 3 flowers, things like that, right? So things in 3s. So this number is significant for you, and I would recommend you look up the numerology of it, planetary associations, etc., just to look and see what this number may mean, and if it resonates with you. Okay, but apart from that, also the dice in general as a charm in my Magpie Oracle represents sudden changes, so kind of like a Wheel of Fortune type of energy, where things are in constant movement and things may be a bit of a gamble, so things may not be clear and they may change at any moment. So maybe your dreams either reflect this anxiety, or they are kind of foreshadowing some type of big change in your life. Before I started this reading, I specifically got told that there was something about a specific person in this reading, but I can't tell what that is yet. I'm going to get 2 cards, but this is a card that's supposed to be kind of like the main message from the dream. I'm literally seeing one of the pages in my head, but I really can't. Why can't I tell with which page that is? That's weird. Let's see. Okay, so we got Judgment. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Let me get 2 more cards first, just to get a more general feel of what's going on here. So, what are pile 2's dreams trying to tell them? That's the Queen of Swords. yeah, definitely something about a person, because I was seeing a page, but the Queen is also a court card, and court cards in tarot usually represent an actual person, more so than, say, the Two of Swords or the Three of Wands. The court cards just represent usually actual people. So a knight. So you've got a knight as well. So there's definitely something about people here. Oh, I hit my leg. Sorry. So Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, and Judgment. So the Judgment card is super interesting because I see it and interpret it in so many ways, but I think it's incredible with, in combination with the dice, because like I said, this could be like a sudden change. And the Judgment card is something that it's kind of a new beginning as well, because it's like, clearly this is based in like Christian belief, because you have the angel waking up people from the dead on the day of the reckoning, or whatever they call it. I forgot the name that they used for this. So whatever it is that you have done up until right now will affect in some way where this is going to go in the future. Now that's kind of very cryptic, and but what this is saying is that something that happened in the past that you were probably dreaming about is going to affect something in the future, and they are kind of telling you about it, your spirit team, through dreams. So they're kind of warning you about this, and this may be related, like I said, to a person, because I am very much seeing, like I said, I was seeing a page and you got a queen and a knight, basically 3 out of the 4 court cards, only the king is missing. So with the Queen of Swords, there is, in your dreams, there is a truth that is being presented to you. So maybe, like I said, if you're dreaming about a specific person, your dreams may not be that realistic. Like you may see this person in the background, or you may briefly speak to them in the dream, but what stands out the most are the symbolism in the dream. So things may not really make a lot of sense in these dreams that you're having. So suddenly you may be speaking to this person in the middle of the woods is kind of something that I'm seeing. I don't know if that's for you, let me know. But maybe they tell you, oh hey, I'm doing whatever out here, you want to come with me? Yeah, whatever. And then you go with them somewhere and you stand in front of 3 very like very defined trees in some way that look unique and different from the rest. Or you come across, I don't know, 3 items on the ground or something like that, and you're like, what the fuck does that mean? So you wake up basically confused as hell, because you don't know why you're seeing this person or why you saw those things. But whatever it is that you're seeing, these symbols that you're seeing in these dreams, they are telling you a truth about this person. So for example, one of the things that I'm seeing here in my head, basically I'm having like a little bit of a vision. What I just described, like going to the woods with this person, that's me having a vision. So I may literally be seeing somebody's dream right now and not know it, but it feels like that. So for example, one of the things that I'm seeing is a pair of scissors. So if the pair of scissors is something that you saw, the scissors, to me, again, look this up, because there are so many ways to interpret this symbol. So take really what feels correct for you, because it is your dream. But for me, I do have a pair of scissors in my magpie oracle where my charms are. And usually the scissors I associate with the need to cut ties with someone. So if you saw the scissors, it's telling you to stop contacting this person or to cut contact with this person in some way. It could also mean protection, because scissors in certain beliefs are used, open scissors are used as a sign of protection, because it creates an X and also a cross at the same time. So it's 2 very protective symbols, the X of you can't cross, and the cross clearly related to Christian religions and stuff like that. So it could also be that they're saying to protect yourself from this person. Okay, but they're giving you some type of truth, because the Queen of Swords knows. The Queen of Swords has knowledge and the truth in her favor. So she knows, she's grasping that sword. So like I said, you may be seeing that. Another thing that I'm seeing is a pomegranate. So I'm not sure what it means, because I've seen it in like so many different with so many different explanations that at this point I've kind of lost track of how many there are. But one of the things that pomegranates represent is like fertility and abundance in some way. It is also related to the myth of Persephone and Hades, where she eats like 6 pomegranate seeds, and that's why she has to stay in the underworld for 6 months and then comes back for another 6 months to be with her mother. So in that sense, it may be that they're telling you to be wary of this person and be careful what you say around them, what they do around you as well, and maybe even what you eat, you know. But I think it's more so what you say, because they may not have good intentions at heart and may use things against you. This is very much turning like into whatever, you know, what I spoke to my friend about. So girl, if you're here, hello. And then they're showing me like a snowman. So they're showing me like different items right now as I'm going through this reading. So if one of these is for you, let me know. And the thing with snowmans, I recently saw a movie about that. It was literally a serial killer. I'm not saying that this person's a serial killer, but what I'm saying is that the snowman was kind of used in this movie as a symbol of this man being around and finding a victim. So maybe they're telling me this is someone who is toxic and looking for their next target, and they may have set their sights on you in some way. And even though they seem pretty innocent or pretty nice right now, they don't have pure intentions at heart. So they're kind of telling you, your dreams are basically your guides, your subconscious, everyone is telling you like through your dreams to not trust this person, because even though they seem to be one way, they are another. Okay, so that may have been one of the things you were saying. Maybe they just used it for me to understand and give you this message directly, but you know, take it as it resonates for you. And with the Knight of Pentacles, what I said about the protection is coming back, because yes, these are pentacles, but in witchcraft and magic and certain traditions, pentacles are a sign of protection. So, and literally here in the Knight of Pentacles, the pentacle is a shield. So again, there's this sense of protection. And also he's looking at these stars up here. So they really want you to listen to this guidance and to listen to your gut, but you know, ask your guides for clarification. If I may give you like a piece of advice about this, when you have a moment, try to reach your guides and tell them to give you a specific sign if this person has bad intentions, or if this person is toxic, or whatever you want to ask of them, and ask for something that you don't see every day. Either, you know, maybe you live, okay, so maybe you're somewhere where it's winter or it's cold, and only certain birds are around you in this time of year. So you ask to see one of the birds that are usually not there in this time of year. Okay, so when you see one of those, it's gonna be your confirmation that this person is toxic. Yes, you should be away. You should stay away from them. Another thing you can do is to ask that this person says something specific. If they have bad intentions, so you can pick a specific word, a specific phrase, but I would recommend a word. It doesn't have to be like I don't go for a word that's like super common, like and or mom, you know, just a word that they usually don't use in their vocabulary. So when they say it, next time you meet them, you'll be like, oh, there's my sign. I should not be speaking to this person. This person's not good for me. So I recommend you do that. Ask them for it, and then write down the sign that you asked for, just so you don't forget what it is, in case maybe you don't see this person in a bit, you know. I don't want you to forget, because if the universe really wants you to know something, if your guys really want you to know something, they will come the fuck through. Okay, I recently, I'm gonna shuffle these to see if there's something else about this that they want to say. But I was gonna say that I recently had this experience where I wanted to know about something specifically, about a specific type of entity. And literally, I found a book that mentioned these entities. And not only that, I had information on a bunch of other types of entities that was very helpful for me, because clearly, well, not clearly if you're new here, but I do work with spirits. Like, I see them when I'm doing the readings and I get messages from them. So it's important for me to be aware of what type of spirits I'm dealing with. And they literally allowed me to find a book that I didn't know existed. And I'm gonna do some, honestly, I'm gonna tell you, it's called The Witch's Guide to the Paranormal, and it's a fantastic book. So go check it out if you're interested, because I really, really love it. I read it the whole thing in a day. So yeah. But like I said, like, if the universe needs you to know something, it will find a way to make it get to you, okay? So don't be shy and ask, Let's see. I can't help but notice. Oh, that's interesting. So, pardon. So, you see here, like, I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but there are all these people clearly coming over their tombs, very Christian rapture type thing. I don't remember the name. But back here, there are some figures, obviously people, but the way that they're standing with their arms up, it made me think of the rune Algies. I don't think I'm saying that right, so I apologize for butchering that. But it is a rune of protection as well. So a lot of protection when you go around this person. And it may not be, like, for some of you, this person is not, like, actively trying to harm you, but there's something about them that does harm you. Maybe it is the type of things that they say, the energy they carry with them, and it's kind of poisoning you a little bit, to be completely honest. And that's why it's like, yo, stay away from them. This is not good. So what else are the dreams trying to tell Pile? Too. Hello, Void. And can I have one more? My nose is so itchy. One, just one. Thank you. those were too many. Just get just one. Sea star. Maybe you would like to ask literally about, maybe this is one of the symbols that you were seeing in your dreams. But if not, you maybe could ask about seeing this person maybe wearing a piece of jewelry that includes like a seashell of some sort, or to, I don't know, if seashell type jewelry is not something that's common around you, that you see very often, maybe you could ask to see that type of jewelry around you and give it like a time frame, so you know that it's like the universe doing its due diligence and showing you signs. Yeah. And also, this card, I don't really memorize the meanings for these cards specifically, because there's just too many. And I don't use them that much, but I go off, the name and what I'm seeing here and the energy that they give me. And this is telling me to kind of pay attention to like small things. So maybe, like I said, this person, if they want to harm you like on purpose and consciously, again, they may appear one way, they may appear like super sweet and act super nice towards you, but there are little things that they do that kind of give them away. So maybe you start speaking and this person, their eye twitches, for example, or their face kind of becomes a grimace of some sort for a few seconds, and then they fix their face, or they are talking to you and all of a sudden they see someone come into whatever room they are, and they kind of look at them, and then they start commenting on their appearance or how they look and anything like that, just unprovoked, just completely unprovoked. So there's these tiny moments of behavior where they give away their true nature, even if they try to like really pretend that it's not there. And I think that's interesting, because I did mention the thing about the book that I found as kind of like an example of the universe making things get to you when you need to see it, because the entity that I was looking for is usually commonly referred to as a mimic of some sort. And one of the things about this being is that it mimics appearances and voices of other people. But one of the things is that usually there's something wrong with it. So they can't really do like a perfect impersonation. So this person can't do a perfect impersonation of a good person, of a kind person. There is something that is off. So pay attention to that. Maybe you have seen it before, but you kind of brushed it off like, oh, that's weird. But you didn't think about it too hard. But no. They're showing you their true selves. Like in I think it was Maya Angelou. I'm pretty sure. If not, please correct me. I said, when somebody shows you who they really are, believe them. Okay. And with Hello Void here, that's interesting because the thing with this card is this card really gives me the energy of rest, of taking time for yourself. And I think that this may relate to this person, but if it doesn't, it doesn't matter. If you have been feeling quite drained, again, maybe related to this person. But there's also the aspect here of you having to take care of yourself a little bit more, maybe having some me time, and maybe staying away from this person for a little bit to see how your mood acts. Maybe your mood will improve when you stay away from this person for a little bit, and then when they come back into your life, you kind of start feeling horrible again. So do pay attention to that. But just in general, I think it's important for you to kind of have a little retreat and take care of yourself. I just saw like crows flying, so that might be a sign for you. But yeah, like I saw it in my head, like just a few crows flying. I don't know the number. I know there are several though, so it's probably 3. But I just like a split second. Yeah. So just truly, I think, be careful around this person. And I think the judgment, like I said, that there's something in the past that's going to maybe affect the future. That's interesting because it's probably related to this person. Because again, they have been so prominent in this reading. But if you're in this period of kind of transition and there's something that is going to change, because we do have the dice here. So maybe the reason that this person keeps coming up in relation to this is that they're going to do or say something that is going to be very shaking for you. Like it's really going to be like surprising, and they would kind of throw you off completely. And I think what's important for you and the way that this is coming up is that, the past affecting the future, is that if you take this time, I think right now, to center yourself and find yourself again and rest, whatever this person does or whatever is that's coming after this judgment, you are going to be able to face better. So there's going to be a difference between whether you prepare for this by taking care of yourself or not. So it is imperative that you step into this void for a little bit and really figure yourself out. Do a cleansing if you need to. Take a few days off work or school, I don't know. Or maybe just a night instead of doing something else, like maybe watching TV. Maybe you just want to sit with yourself and meditate for a little bit. Just find your center again. So whenever you have to face anything, regardless of this person or otherwise, in the near future, you will be able to deal with it because you are more than capable. But if you're caught off guard, it's probably going to affect you a lot more, because they just gave me the example of like you have a, what's the word? Oh my god, why am I missing the words today? Your immune system. So your immune system works, just gets rid of viruses and bacteria and whatever. But when your defenses are down, it is much easier for these organisms to invade your body and cause sickness. So it's important for you to take care of that, to get your defenses up, to make yourself a lot stronger. So whatever it is that you have to face next is not it, like that anything just, it may feel just like a breeze for you, or you may easily recover from it, whatever it is. Okay, so most important thing, focus on yourself and see what needs to be done around your life for you to recover your full strength in order to move forward, because depending on that is, you know, it's going to depend how you come out of this from the future. It's going to depend on whether you do that or not. I'm getting so stuck speaking. I am so sorry. I'm very tired. So yeah, that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Sunday at 12 p.m. EST. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do love my videos at the channel over there, and also in my community tab. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. I wish the best of luck on your journey and much, much love to you. Bye bye. Hello for pile 3 with the wings as you're reading. So, like I said, I'm going to interpret this. And the thing with this charm is that to me usually signifies literal guidance and communication from spirit teams, or just a spirit in general. So in your dreams, you may literally be connecting with your spirit team or other entities. So you may be having some type of spirit visitations while you are sleeping. And I am getting that for some of you, you have woken up during these spirit communications and you have actually seen the spirit in your room. So that's fucking creepy. I'm sorry. I would probably be terrified if that happened to me. It has never happened, thank God, but you know, I feel bad if that has happened because it sounds horrifying, the way that I'm seeing it. So you may have maybe you have been dreaming in your dream and you start hearing some type of voice, and it's like maybe someone calling out to you, but then you wake up and you actually see like a spirit calling out to you. Terrifying. But I'm getting that. So it's like you're getting this communication in your dreams from entities. It's most likely for most of you, it's probably just your spirit team or a family member who was passed. For some of you, it could also be spirits from wherever you're living, your house, or that are around. So do keep that in mind. If that's happening, I would seriously recommend cleansing your home. There are many ways to do this. You can use Florida water, you can use salt water, you know, sprinkler around, stuff like that. You can use actual salt and put in like the 4 corners of the room. That's more protection than cleansing actually, but you know, you cleanse and then you protect. You can use incense, you can use Palo Santo, you can use ethically sourced sage, because sage is endangered and some certain types of sage are sacred to indigenous people. So make sure you're ethically sourcing that sage and that you're not taking it from someone who is not indigenous. You know, buy it from someone who is indigenous if they are okay with selling it and you using it as a non-indigenous person, right? Or you can use sound as well. I have a little bell over here. But I would just recommend like cleansing around your room to see if this goes away, if this is not a spirit that you know. Because I feel like usually when it's a family member, they're just kind of saying hi and trying to communicate, and your spirit team are clearly trying to communicate with you to give you messages and stuff. But if it's another spirit, it may be creepier for you, or they may just be a little bit lost and think you can help them. But if you can't, you know, it'd be better to kind of get them out so they don't bother you, because what I saw was fucking terrifying. Like the way the example they gave me, the way I was seeing it in my head, it was just not nice. Like if I woke up to that, I would be terrified, right? So that's not very nice of them. So I would recommend cleansing. Look into it, see what feels correct for you and what is available to you. You can do so many things with you know, ingredients that are in your pantry. You don't need to buy any fancy stuff. You can literally use, most people I think have rosemary in their pantries, and that works great for cleansing. You can burn it, or you can, you know, do a little simmer pot with it, where it's just where you boil water and you put the ingredients in and just let that water steam cleanse. So you can do something like that. But let's see your card, because I feel like I already got into what the message of the dreams. Oh well, it wasn't really the message of the dream. I was just giving you advice on that because it's uncomfortable. Like you're trying to sleep. Let pile 3 sleep, eh? So let's see what the actual message is. So you got the King of Swords. So here's the thing. The King of Swords, well, not the King of Swords, just court cards in general, including the King of Swords. You have the Ace right there. That's interesting. They usually represent people So like I said, I feel like somebody's most definitely trying to communicate with you through your dreams. And I don't think it's a living person, because I do have that right there. So because I do have the King of Swords, I would assume this is a male figure, but it doesn't have to be necessarily, although most likely it is. Or if it's not male, it's a presence that feels persistent or kind of domineering. So maybe you have, maybe they just keep trying their, they try to communicate, it doesn't work, and then they try the next day. So they're not really letting you sleep. They're not really letting you rest. And it's because they have something to say. Death. Don't be scared of that card. They have something to say, something that they want to communicate, and they're kind of very frustrated about not being able to do that. So let's get one more card, please. Four of Pentacles. That makes so much sense. So I wanted to take this as it resonates, but this doesn't have to be a family member, but this definitely feels like someone who more recently passed away. So this is not someone that I think has been deceased for 20 years. I would say like maximum a year. And they're trying to communicate something because there's something they can't let go of. We do have that Four of Pentacles here, and Four of Pentacles kind of like holding on. And just holding on very tightly to those pentacles, and it's kind of like out of insecurity, out of fear. So I feel like it's very likely this person has something that they want to communicate, or they simply just don't want to leave yet because there's something else that they feel like they have to do. So this person doesn't have to even be related to you. They could simply try to communicate with you because you are more open, you are more receptive, and they think that you can get their message across. So if they have been saying something specifically and you can remember it, or giving you like a specific type of symbolism, I would recommend you write that down and see if you can make sense of it, if it doesn't make sense. And if it does, maybe try to find out who this is if you feel like you want to help them. If not, you can just cleanse and ask them, to leave, because tell them you can't help. Okay? But yeah, that's in case it's a spirit that you don't really know, and I feel that's the case for most of you. If it's a spirit that you do know, like a family member, they may just simply be saying hi. They may not be ready to yet, leave the earth realm yet, and they want to stick around, but they also want people to know that they're still there. They may actually have been trying to take up their previous jobs, and I don't mean like job for pay, I mean like things they used to do. Maybe they were very frustrated because there were things that they took care of, like maybe if there's like for example, a grandma, she really liked to maybe cook or bake or just wash the clothes and stuff like that. Things that they had, like that they were responsible for, and they may not feel ready to hand that over to anyone yet. So they may be actually come across as quite upset, which again is just more frightening for us. I don't, but I try to understand. Like, I can't imagine being a spirit because I haven't been there yet, I think. But yeah, so that may also be the case for some of you. If this is not the type of communication, this is your spirit team, because I am covering everything here because I can see everything. So most likely here I'm seeing like, most likely this is different for everyone. But if this is your spirit team and you know what your spirit team looks like and how they communicate with you, there's a big message of transformation. And we do have the death here, we have the rebirth, because even though we have the Four of Pentacles here, we have two butterflies here. Those are symbols of transformation, of change, of rebirth, right? So this is going on in some area of your life, okay? And the reason they're trying to talk about it is maybe because you're not someone who really likes change that much, or or there's something about it that they just want to warn you about it because it may be more destabilizing than usual, or because maybe you even have been waiting for this change and they're letting you know, like, hey, it's happening, you know? So I want you to really think about that, you know, the several examples of this that I gave, because I feel like, you know, take what resonates for you, because it's very interesting. Although I feel like for most people, this is talking about a spirit communicating with you who you don't know very well. So that I'm mostly feeling that type of energy, but I do feel the others. So that's why I went over them, because I can most definitely see them right now. But yeah, let's see. It's so interesting. And also in line with the transformation thing, if there's another type of spirit, again, there's just this sense of not being ready yet to go through the transformation, to go through the light, to go through the change from human to spirit. There's something about not being ready there. And if this is for you, like you not being ready to make some sort of transition, the general message I feel is like, the transition has to be made. You can't like hang around on the edge of it forever. You're gonna have to cross that bridge eventually. So if this is for you, you're gonna have to go through this transition, even if it's scary. They want you to, you know, go along with it. If this is for like another type of spirit, you know, a spirit that is kind of not wanting to let go, and like I said, if you want to help, maybe just lighting a candle for them and asking them to go through the light, maybe that would help. And oh, brilliance. I wasn't even shuffling, it just fell out. And there's the other one. So build. Yeah, so that's I feel like the important message. And also now we got two more cards. You got brilliance and you got build. With the build card, like I said, I feel like this is like a recurrent thing. This is not like one dream. These are several dreams and they may connect to one another. There's like a common thread among them. There's like about the spirit may have appeared in different dreams at this point. And you are like, who the hell? Like, who is that? How can I help you? Why do I keep seeing you? So they continue. And with the brilliance card, I want you to think about this. Like, even if you are like, I don't care what the actual content of the dream is for you right now. In general, you, as you are watching this reading, you are you have psychic abilities, clearly, if you're here, but you may have more than you realize. So the reason these entities, you know, are attracted to you, and the reason that maybe your guides can communicate with you pretty easily, or that you can understand most things they tell you, or maybe you can even see them, is because you have these abilities. And but the problem with that is that you become kind of like I always use this example, and it's from a horror movie, but I feel like it's such a good example. So in the movie Insidious, I think it's Insidious chapter 2. I think it's chapter 2. Well, the dad goes to what they call the further, right? And it's like the spiritual version of our world in a way. It's like a perfect replica, and there are several places, and it's not bound by time, etc. But he goes in there to find his son. And the way he goes in there, he's holding a lantern. And this lantern is a light. And there's a specific scene in that movie where he's going through with the lantern, and kind of like all the spirits see him and kind of flock to him. So when you have these abilities, it's like these spirits, they can see you almost as if you're holding a lantern. Like, they can see you from a mile away. They know that you have these abilities, and that's why they get close. They maybe not be trying to even harm you or scare you. They're just trying to communicate. That's why it's so important for you to cleanse and to protect your space, because otherwise they're going to continue to flock towards you, because it's like being a glow stick, and you can't really stop it. You're just glowing, and they see you and they're like, oh, what is that? Pretty light. So they're gonna get closer to you. So there's a big message here about protecting yourself from these entities and cleansing your space so you don't have unwanted visitors. Okay, if you're not ready to if you're not ready to do this type of work, or you don't want to work with spirits, that's completely understandable, and it's up to you. It's your journey. So if you don't want to do that, the best you can do is to try to keep them out of your space. Keep unwanted spirits out of your personal space by wearing personal protection and by protecting your home. Again, if you don't know how, I invite you to do the research. There's so much information out there. There's so many great resources. And if anything about that, if you find several methods and you're like, which one do I pick? Use your gut. Your gut will tell you what's going to work for you. Okay, so that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Sunday at 12 p.m. EST. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do my episode of the channel over there, and also my community tab. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. I wish you the best of luck on your journey and much, much love to you. Bye-bye.